What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. In this video, I'm just going to do an initial review of the Ruger SFAR. This is an AR-10 chambered in .308 Winchester, and this particular one has a 20-inch barrel, and this is supposed to be a very light AR-10. So I just mounted some Troy Industries tritium flip-up sights, and I'm out here at the range zeroing them. So I want to just give you guys a close-up look at this rifle. It's kind of like Ruger's version of the POF Rogue, which I also have. It's basically a lightweight AR-10 chambered in .308. So it's very comfortable to handle because it's so lightweight. And it does come with a 20-inch heavy barrel, and it appears to be Cerakoted. Has like a black Cerakote. And it comes with a muzzle brake, but I took the muzzle brake off and I put on a Silencer Co. ASR flash hider because I'm going to be using a suppressor with this rifle, and I'm actually going to take some shots with the suppressor here in a little bit, but I want to get my zero down with the flash hider first. And here are those flip up sights. These are the Troy Industries tritium flip up sights. So this is the Troy Industries flip up sight. This is the front sight. I have these on my POF Rogue. They're excellent sights. They're pricey, but they got the tritium in them, so they're really good. And here's the rear sight. You can see it has 2 tritium vials on the ghost ring. And it comes with this Magpul plastic magazine. Okay. 20 round magazine, plastic, but I like steel mags, so I got these steel 20 round mags. Seems to work fine with the steel mag. Haven't had any feeding issues so far. I've put about a box through this rifle already. No feeding issues, no ejection issues. It does have a 3-position adjustable gas block, which is nice because you don't have to buy an adjustable gas block and put it on yourself. So that's the adjustable gas block right there. You can see the number 3. It only has 3 positions, which is not a whole lot, but it's better than nothing, and it kind of simplifies it. It makes it easy to remember your gas settings. If you're using different ammo or if you're using a suppressor, you can easily remember, you know, what position you have it on, whether it's 1, 2, or 3, you know, versus if you have like 12 positions, it's going to be hard for you to remember what your gas setting is for, you know, every box of ammo you have, and, you know, your suppressors and stuff like that. So it kind of simplifies it, makes it easy to remember what setting you're on. And I haven't put anything on the handguard yet. I'm going to be putting some Magpul furniture on this handguard, and I do plan to mount a long-range scope because to me this is a long-range rifle. It's 20-inch .308. So this is more of a DMR rifle. It's not really a CQB rifle. I mean, you could use it for CQB. You know, it can collapse. You know, you get your collapsible stock here. So, you know, when you push the stock in all the way, it's pretty compact. So you could do like CQB with this. The 20-inch barrel is still manageable in close quarters, but I plan to put an Athlon 2.5 to 15 power scope on this rifle so I can reach out to 1,000 yards, get that nice magnification, and nice wide field of view. And it does come with this Magpul adjustable stock, okay, collapsible stock. And you got the Magpul grip here. I'm going to change this grip out. I don't like this angled grip because I do plan to use this more for long range shooting than tactical stuff or CQB. And this angled grip is just not comfortable to use if you're shooting off a bench or if you're shooting prone. Vertical grips are much better for that. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna take a couple of shots here for you guys, but so far it's great. I can't complain so far. I've only put a box through it. I'm shooting some PMC X-Tac ammo, just zeroing these iron sights, and I'm gonna put the suppressor on in a couple of minutes and shoot a couple with the suppressor, see how it feeds, see how it functions. But so far I like it. For the price, it's really good. I think I paid like $1,200, which is a really good deal for an AR-10 and 308 with all these features. You get the heavy barrel. I wouldn't say it's a heavy barrel. It's not a bull barrel, but it's kind of like a medium heavy barrel. And you get the adjustable gas block, which is, in my opinion, mandatory if you're going to be running a suppressor. And if you plan to use a variety of different ammunition, from higher pressure to lower pressure ammunition. The rail is really good, the handguard, can't complain, you know, Magpul stock and grip. I mean, I think it's a great deal. And it also has 2 ejectors, which is really interesting. Most ARs only have 1 ejector, but Ruger added an extra ejector. I'll show you guys what that looks like in a minute. But that's really interesting. That just adds to the reliability. So you have 2 instead of 1. So if one of them fails, you have that extra one. And I think it's just a very aesthetically pleasing rifle. I mean, it just looks good. It's just a really good looking rifle. I like it a lot so far. And I got to just attach all the rails and all the rest of the furniture and then get the scope mount and the scope. But right now I'm just zeroing these iron sights from Troy Industries. But so far I like it. Beautiful rifle. And seems to function very well. Very high quality. And this rifle, just like the POF Rogue, actually uses a 5.56 bolt carrier group. So that's how they're able to keep this rifle so light, because they're using a lighter bolt carrier group. So, you know, that shaves off like a pound easily, versus a normal AR-10 bolt carrier is just really massive, and the receiver's much bigger and heavier. So that's how they're able to keep this thing so light. And POF kind of pioneered that. I'm pretty sure POF pioneered that. I think they were the first ones to do that. And, you know, seems to work really well. I have my POF Rogue, and I've put probably at least 1,000 rounds through it, and, you know, no issues. You know, you'll hear on the internet people saying, oh, how can you shoot a 308 on a 5.56 bolt carrier? You know, it's not strong enough. I haven't had any issues whatsoever, so it's not a problem for me. So I'm going to take a couple more shots and show you guys how this thing functions. But the first couple of shots, the gas was closed off, so I had to adjust the gas. I moved the gas to the 2nd position, so I let more gas in. But I think when I put my suppressor on, I'm going to have to close off one position because it'll be overgassed. And this barrel is actually not stainless steel. It's carbon steel, so that's something to keep in mind. You definitely want to maintain this barrel. You want to clean the bore often, and just be cognizant of the fact that it's carbon steel. It's not stainless steel. And there's that adjustable gas block. It just has a little Allen screw head. So this is at 25 yards. This was my point of aim for my first few shots without making any adjustments, and you can see I was pretty far to the left. Then I took a couple more after making some small adjustments. I went like 4 clicks to the right. I was still too much to the left. And then I made a pretty drastic adjustment. I went 12 more clicks to the right. This was my point of aim, and you can see 3 shots right here. So basically dead on, left to right. I'm still low about 2, maybe 2.5 inches. And then I took 3 more shots. This was my point of aim, and here was my point of impact. So you can see my windage is good to go. My elevation is low, about 2 to 3 inches or so. I might just keep it like that because I think I ran out of adjustment on that front sight. I can't go any higher, so I might just have to keep it this way, but I think it's pretty good. I mean, 2 to 3 inches low, not a big deal. I'll just have to keep that in the back of my mind. And they're just backup iron sights anyway. I'm going to have an optic on there and a backup reflex sight. So I'm not super worried about it, but I mean, these groups are pretty good for just the first box of ammo. I haven't even cleaned the barrel yet, except when I first got it, I just cleaned it just to get the preservatives off, but this barrel's not broken in at all. I haven't done a break-in procedure yet. So, you know, once this barrel breaks in, these groups are going to be much, much smaller. And this is with iron sights at 25 yards. So, you know, those are really tight groups anyway for iron sights. So I'm going to put the suppressor on now, take a couple shots with the suppressor, see how the suppressor affects the point of impact. But I'm pretty happy with it so far. One thing you'll notice about this rifle when you shoot it, if you're not using a muzzle brake or suppressor, you will notice a good amount of recoil, and that's because it's just so light. So you will notice a little bit of recoil. It's going to feel kind of like a moderately powered 12 gauge shotgun shell. But I think it's an excellent rifle so far. So I got my Silencer Co. Hybrid 46 attached. Gonna take a couple shots, 25 yards, see if the point of impact changes. But so far so good. Probably gonna close the gas off one setting so it's not overgassed. This 3-position gas block seems to work pretty good. I was skeptical about it, you know, because it's only 3 positions, but seems to work fine. So let's go see what the point of impact was on those shots. And as I'm shooting, I'm just switching between magazines, between the steel mag and the Magpul mag, and I'm not having any issues whatsoever. I did notice with the steel mag, the SR25 style steel mag, it was a little bit stiff the first few times using the bolt release. Okay, it was kind of hard to push the bolt release down. I had to use a lot more force than with the plastic one or polymer, but it seems to be breaking in a little bit now, so it's a little bit easier to push the bolt release in. But no issues feeding with the SR25 style steel mags or the Magpul mags. So 25 yards with iron sights, Silencer Co. Hybrid 46. This was my point of aim, and this was my point of impact. Basically the same as with the flash hider. So at 25 yards, you really wouldn't notice a huge difference, but pretty good group there. So my windage is good. It's just my elevation is a little bit low, about 3 inches low. Seems to be a little bit lower actually with the suppressor. Seems like it's probably about 1 inch lower with the suppressor. So here's my second 3-shot group with the suppressor on. Here was my point of aim, more or less, and here was my point of impact. Pretty tight group there. It does seem like the point of impact is a little bit lower with the suppressor. I mean, you could see the point of impact's probably about 1 inch lower compared to these, maybe even 2 inches lower. I mean, you could see the difference between this and this, you know. All right, guys, so Ruger SFAR, I'm pretty impressed so far. Beautiful rifle. So stay tuned for more Ruger SFAR content, and if you want to see more of my AR-10 videos, check out my AR-10 playlist. If you want to check out more of my 308 Winchester videos, check out my 308 Winchester playlist. And if you want to see more of my suppressor videos, check out my suppressors playlist. I'll leave a link to all these playlists in the top right corner of this video. But that's pretty much it for this one, guys. I'm going to be doing another updated review after I get about 500 or 1,000 rounds downrange with this rifle. But I don't think I'm going to have any issues. That 3-position gas block seems to work well. And just a really good bang for the buck. So take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 P's. Prepare, practice, and persevere.